After Thanksgiving, you find you have maybe a half a turkey left and you're tired of eating turkey. So what else can you do with that? Well, today I'm going to make a recipe from the Re-enactor's Cookbook, which was just published by Allyson Szabo. And the recipe that I'm going to use in here originally calls for Capon, and it is the Capon in orange sauce. But this recipe originally came from Capon with orange or lemon sauce from the Good Cookery website. And so I've pulled up that recipe as well, and I've compared the two, and I'm going to make something that's a little bit in between the two recipes. This recipe is based on one from The Good Housewife's Handmaide for the Kitchen, a book from 1594. The first step is to take the meat off the bones, and I'm going to leave them in larger bite-sized chunks. The turkey pieces were salted with a little coarse salt, and then putting them in through flour to coat them with flour, and then they will be fried in butter. For the spice mix, we'll use a half a teaspoon of black ground peppercorn, 1/8 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground ginger, 1/8 of a teaspoon of chopped rosemary, 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground mace. To this, I'll add a teaspoon of sugar and a teaspoon of salt. And that's the herb mix. I used about 1/4 to 1/2 cup of dried currants. I'm gonna get about a cup of orange juice from fresh oranges. So I'll slice them and squeeze them. The juice of 3 oranges made about a cup of orange juice. I used a cup of wine, je ne sais quoi. Here we are at the inaugural cooking in my new kitchen. Got the fire here I've got to get going. And I'm going to start by lighting this fire here. And we're going to cook some bread in my new clay oven that looks like a fish. The recipe in the Re-enactor's Cookbook called for cooking the turkey in the sauce, but I'm cooking my turkey separately, and then we'll pour the sauce over it. Turkey is browning. And leave it in until they're all kind of browned on the outside. And we've got the artichokes in the cauldron boiling. The turkey seems to be browning just fine. The turkey cubes seem pretty brown, so I think I'm going to take them off the fire now. I don't want them to get black. And then I'm going to use this same pot, the Dutch oven, to cook the rest of the ingredients for the sauce, which is orange juice, wine, chicken stock, spices, and 1/2 cup of currants. The turkey looks really good, and I actually tasted a piece, and it's delicious, and it's not dried out at all. For the sauce, I'm going to start with the chicken broth. And that will deglaze the bottom of the pan and get all those nice little crumbs from the turkey back into the sauce and any bits of the flour that are in there. And then the currants, because they're dried and they'll need to soak up some sauce. And the spices. We'll let that come to a simmer, and then afterwards I'll add the wine and the orange juice and then let it thicken. The sauce is steaming and smells really good. So now the fish oven is full of coals. And we'll heat up and ready in preparation to cook our bread. Making some Irish soda bread. Looking good. The second loaf of bread is the no-knead bread from the Re-enactor's cookbook, made in the Dutch oven. This is baking my second loaf of bread in the Dutch oven. So here we have the capons with orange sauce, which in this case is turkey, some artichokes, and 2 loaves of bread. This one on the left is a Irish soda bread, and the one on the right is the no-knead bread, and a glass of Hippocras. Both of these breads were very easy to make and cooked well over the fire and tasted great. The capons in orange sauce was pretty good. It has the typical medieval spices, which do take a while to get used to if your palate's not accustomed to eating the highly spiced foods. You could use less spice, and then it would be more like a typical meal, but it's pretty good as it is. Thank you for watching. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and also give me a like and watch some of the other videos as well. Have a good day.